CE. Consonant set is smaller than many Brahminic scripts. Voiced and unvoiced sounds share a single letter. Does not use conjuncts like other Indian scripts. Tamil's age compared to Sanskrit is debated. Some consider it older. Now, Indus Valley script, it is spectrographic in nature and remains undeciphered till date. Combines word, signs, symbols and phonetic values. Characters represent ideas, words or sounds. Inscriptions are short, averaging 5 signs. Lines alternate directions in script. One line is written in one direction, the next in the opposite. Numerical values include downward strokes for single units and semicircles for tens. Found on seals, seal impressions, pottery, bronze, tools, bones. Around 400 signs identified. 31 signs appear over 100 times while others are rare. Seals often include realistic animal motifs, sacred symbols and cultic representations. Now, point to be noted. Few historians say that the Indus Valley Civilization had an external origin. Another set of historians argue that Indus Valley Civilization is indigenous in nature. A new set of historians argue that it was a mix of both. Now, let me introduce my guests. I am joined by Professor Kapil Kumar, historian and former chairperson, Department of History, IGNOU, and Professor Prasanajit Biswas, Professor of Philosophy, Northeastern Hill University. So, there are two things, sir. One is academic and one is the politics on the academics. So, first I will come to you, Prasanajit. Let us start with the politics of academics. Why Indus Valley Civilization and who were the people is so intensely debated in political circles? Which political values it is, or what political prize does this debate entail, Prasanajit?
The political value of it lies in a kind of an epistemological superiority over a contesting side. So both the sides or both the contesting parties or many contesting parties on the origins and the sources of Brahmi script as found in Indus Valley Civilization is now debated in terms of advanced technological procedures of deciphering. And one of the procedure of deciphering is by using AI methods, using large language models, where you have techniques like vision language FMs, vision language foundation models. Using vision language foundation models, you can decipher a script down to its actual torsions, and torsions which are exactly similar, whether they actually represent the same object language or they confine themselves to a meta language, is the methodological issue. Now, this methodological issue in case of Indus Valley scripts have opened up a host of interpretations. So many archaeologists have tried to interpret it, but without giving us very specific meanings, and meanings that could be supported by secondary evidences. Now, this actually creates a sense of ambiguity and remains connected with the larger ideological politics of Dravidianism and Aryanism as it comes in Aryabhatta. So that ideological conflict gets embroiled into an interpretation of the scientific evidence as well.
Okay. Dr. Kapil Kumar, why does this part of history remains an enigma, and why it's so politically contested and debated, sir?
You see, when those people who make it political forget the basic facts, you see, that Indus Valley is not just Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. It is also Rakhi Gadi. It is also Kalibangan. The whole area of Punjab now has Indus Valley things. Even right up to Jammu, Indus Valley finds have been there. There is a site being excavated. In Hindon River hillocks, Indus Valley seals were found, and it is a larger spread. Secondly, even now archaeologists agree on this that there was pre-Harappan and post-Harappan settlements also. And the whole theory that it got destroyed has led to many new findings now that it's a diffusion and it is found in many places. So that is one aspect. So I don't know why this controversy of North and South is brought into it. That's like playing in the British hand of Aryan invasion theory and Dravid and this and this and that. My second point is that almost last 100 years, professor was talking of all the models, rightly so, and all these models have been applied to understand the script. I don't think there is any model left by the linguists or the archaeologists or by scientists. Now, though, even the computer engineers also have been working on it. IIT students have been working it. And if you'll recall, Professor, the Russians had a full-fledged project on it for almost 20 years, which they gave up later on. Now,
So
the latest thing
why is it, sir? Why has it been so difficult that the script has not been cracked?
You see, there are many things you see of ancient aspects. You tell me this, if you have seen this Kailash temple in Alora. Now, can someone explain to me that how that architect drew the drawings for that from one hillock and starting with chisel and all that was made? There are many aspects of these related to many of these. You tell me how the Indians were so many years back able to discover this your zero and your decimal and all, and how come the planetary distances which were given by them, NASA says are now equivalent to them. We don't know how they calculated it. See, there are so many aspects of these things related to that. Now the question, latest I tell you, is this engineer from America, Yagna Devam, who did this study. He started during the COVID period and he did a lot on the computers and all that. He also failed, but he makes one very pertinent point in this. As you mentioned in the beginning, joint letters are there in this script. And there are only two languages in the world which have this joint letters thing. One is Sanskrit, the other is German. Both are very close to each other. So I don't know where further research will take us into that aspect, because we all want this mystery to be solved, because that takes into account a number of things. Because we have now all the evidences of the trade of this civilization with Egypt, Syria, all these areas and all that. And perhaps, I don't know, how these things will unveil themselves now. Because what is the Mayan civilization? I was very surprised when I visited Australia. I went to see the treetops near Perth. And the first board I found there was that in ancient times, Africa, Southern America, Indian subcontinent, and Australia and Antarctica were one continent known as Gondwana. Now, I was quite shocked that how this name Gondwana came in Australia, Because in India, we have Gonds, and we have right up on the, Madhya Pradesh and peninsula over there. Because immediately struck me, oh, there is a Gondwana Express which goes. So I was shocked, and I tried my best to find it in Australia, that where did this name Gondwana came from?